Unit 1 square roots and cube roots and translating expressions. All right, number 5. We have x minus 5y. What we're going to do is substitute our values. So x is 10 minus 5. And we put our parenthesis, that's for multiplication. Y is negative 5. And we're going to solve this. So by hand, negative times negative is positive. So our answer would be 35. Now, if you would like to use Desmos, we're going to demonstrate this problem on Desmos. So we just type in 10 minus 5, parenthesis, negative 5, and voila, 35. Enter. All right, number 2. Number 6. We have x to the 3rd power plus 8 divided by y minus x. We are doing the same thing. We are substituting our values. So our x is 4 to the 3rd power plus 8 divided by y is 10 minus 4. So now you can work it out by hand, or you could go to Desmos and just enter it in, and it'll give you an answer. All right. So we're gonna put parenthesis 4. Close the parenthesis. Now hit the division sign and go back up this way. It's all up there. And for cube root, you're gonna have to go to functions, and you're gonna have to scroll down. Excuse me. Just go there. That's all right. Plus 8. And 10 minus 4, and that gives us 12. All right, enter. Number 3. So that equals 12. All right. So we have absolute value. Our x is 2 to the 2nd power. And our y is negative 4. Close the absolute bracket, plus 5. All right, if you want to work this out by hand, 2 to the 2nd power is 4, multiply by negative 4. That would give you negative 16. So that gives us 21. All right, now let's put that in Desmos. So we have absolute value, so you'll hit this bracket. 2, close that, and then square power is the a square. And don't forget to close that. You could have done it later, but that doesn't matter. And negative 4. An arrow out, and plus 5. And that gives us 21. Okay. All right. Great. So we have square root of 9 minus cube root of 125. By hand, this is pretty easy. All we have to do is square of 9 is a perfect square, minus, and cube root of 125 is also a perfect cube root, so that will give us negative 2. So if we need to do on Desmos, just put cube root square root of 9 minus. Now the cube root, now you go to functions. Scroll all the way down and you hit that button and you have 3, 125, and there you go, voila, gives us -2. All right, next one down is number 9. So in this kind of situation, I'll show you how to do it by hand, and then we're gonna do it by Desmos. So 125, we could break down this by 5, so 125 divided by 5, it gives us 25. And then 5 times 5 is 25. Now we have a square root, that means we only group in 2s. So see it twice, write it once, that's gone. So that went to the outside, so 5 squared it off, and that 5 is left over. So 5 square root of 5 is our answer. Now to check yourself with Desmos, you don't have to do a tree method, but you will have to enter it in a few times. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is square root of 125, and we're gonna hit enter. I'm gonna show you 2 answers, one wrong and one right answer. So the first one, I'm gonna go with the wrong answer. So it's gonna be 2 square root of 5. See how these 2 decimals do not match? So that means that's not the answer. So now we are going to try the correct answer. 5 square root of 5. And see how they match? So there's another way to do this. You could just match the decimals. All right, let's go to number 10. Now 90 is an even number, so we would start dividing by 2. So we're gonna get 45. Now 45 is a 5 in it, so I will just start using 5, because it's 9. Now 9 is an odd number, so let's start dividing by 3, which is odd. Okay, now we simplified our square root. What we're gonna do now is group it. So we're going to take, see it's squared, that means group by 2. See it twice, write it once. Now they came out on the outside. These 2 numbers will not group, so they are not coming out, they stay on the inside. And our final answer will be 3 square root of 10, because 2 times 5 is 10. Now we're gonna check ourselves in Desmos. All right, so we're going to come over here and put square root of 90, and we go enter. Let's check the correct answer first. Now we have 3 square root of 10, and look at that, they matched. Now let's just do one wrong answer. So we had, there you could see the difference. We have 3 square root of 2. See how they don't match with the original? That's why it's not the right answer. Okay, let's do number 11. All right, now this is an even number, so we're gonna start dividing with 2. So 54 divided by 2 gives us 27. Whoops. All right, now, this is an odd number, so we're gonna start with 3, which gives us a 9. So 27 divided by 3 is 9, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now we still at square root, so we are only grouping by 2s. It don't matter if you group here or here, it doesn't really matter. See it twice, write it once, that goes on your outside. What's left over is that 3 and 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So that is our final answer. Let's check in Desmos again. So we'll put in 54, and then let's put in our correct answer. 3 square root of 6. Okay, correct, we were correct. All right, I'm just gonna move on to the next problem. We got a few more to do. All right, number 12. So this one's pretty easy. Even number, we divide by 2. Still even, divide by 2. Now we group in twos, C at fives, right at ones. So that's our answer. So, and decimals again. 20, enter, and then we're gonna put 2 square root of 5. Matches, they were correct. All right, we're moving on. Okay, number 13 is all different. Which value can be placed on the radicals symbol to make the statement true? So what we are doing is we want to find the number here which will equal to these. They will equal to each other. So when we check in decimals, we'll figure that out. Let's say you forgot how to do this the proper way. There's a second way to do it. You just enter all these in each line in decimals and compare it to that one with the decimals. And I'll do that in a minute. All right, the proper way is you take this 3 and you multiply the front number 3 times. And don't forget that 5. After you multiply all these numbers, I'm gonna get, so 3 times 3 times 3 times 5, you're gonna get 135. So this would give us square root of 100, cube root of 135. All right, let's check this out in decimals. So remember with the cube root, you will have to, let's put 3. You'll have to go to function, scroll all the way down. You put another 3 there, and let's do the 5. Oops, don't do that. Scroll down, put a 5, and then hit enter. And now let's check our answer, what we did. So go to function, and if it matches, then you're good to go. 3 and 135. Okay, we matched, so we are correct. Now, if you don't know how to do that proper way, 3 times 3 times 3 times 5, like I said, put the rest of the answers in here and match the decimal. All right, we're moving on to 14, which is simplify a cube root of 686. Okay, on this one, we could start with 2 because it's even number. Now it's an odd number. If you do a 3, it gives you a decimal. So you don't want 3. 5 will give you a decimal too. So let's try 7. So if nothing's working, you keep on going down the line until you get, yep, 7 worked. You get 49, and then 7 times 7. Now 49 is a perfect square. That's why I knew it was 7 times 7. But if you're not sure, just keep on going by 7. Now with that 3 right here, means you're gonna group in 3s. So I'm gonna mount this up, you can see it. So we have groups of 3. See it 3 times, write it once, that comes out. Don't forget the little 3, and then 2's left over. So that's our answer. Now let's check it out in decimals. So we are going to our function. Go all the way, oops. Go all the way down. We're at 3. Then we're going to put 686. Okay. Then hit enter, and we're going to match our answer, which our answer was 7 cube root. Don't forget to do a little 3. If that happens, just go back up. And we did them correctly because they match. All right, good. All right, number 15. We are moving along. Okay. So this one's done the same way. Going to, anytime you have a negative number, just remember, bring the negative to the answer. So I see a 5 here, so I'm gonna start with 5. 125 divided by 5 will give you 25. And that's a perfect square, so 5 times 5. Now see the little 3 here? We group them in 3s. See it 3 times, write it once. Now do you have anything left over? I don't see anything, so that actually is your answer. Now this one here, if you didn't want to do it by hand, you could have just entered it into decimals, and it would give you the answer right away. So let's do that. Alright, so we're gonna put function, because we want the cube root, and then we're gonna put -125, let's see. And you see how it gives us -5 right away? Alright, that's all we have to do. We don't need to compare decimals. Alright, next one. I'm just gonna type it in very quick since I'm up here. 729. Oh, this one gave us 27, but guess what? They wanted cubed. So let's go back and go to function. Hey, mistakes happen. That's why we double check ourselves. All right, make sure in the new line. All right, function. All right, 3. And then we're gonna put 72189. Okay. And it is actually a perfect cube root. See, I didn't even break it down and I already got my answer. So sometimes check first. And if you get a decimal, then you might have to break it down. So our answer for 16 was just 9. If you want to break it down by hand, that's fine too. Because you would just have 729. And then you just divide it by 9, you get 81, and then 9 times 9. See how it groups in 3? See it 3 times, right in once? So that's our 9. Because that 3 determine how many times it groups. But that one, you could just put it in decimals. All right, a few more and we'll be finished for today. Okay, these are adding square roots. So this problem is pretty easy. What you do is you look at these two. If they same, see it twice, write it once. Nothing changes, and then you just add the front. 5 plus 3 is 8. You could check yourself in decimals if you need to. What you're doing is matching up the decimals. So we're gonna put 5 square root of 2 plus 3 square root of 2. That gives you 11.3 and so on. Now let's put the answer in. 8 square root of 2. And they do match, so you have them. All right, good job. Now we go into number 18. This one here, first thing you do, you break it down. All right, so I'll start with 2. All right, this one here, let's start with 5. This one, put on, make sure it's on camera. That's 375 divided by 5 is 75. Now we'll do 5 again. And then 5 again. Okay, now we could group them. So what I would do is, that 3 determines you're gonna group 3 numbers. See it 3 times, write it once. So that's gonna give you 2 cube root of 3. That's left over plus. And this one here, group into 5s. And that's left over the 3. Now the same thing you could do what we just did. See it twice. Write it once, don't forget that cube root, and 2 plus 5 is 7. All right, so we could put this in decimals to check ourselves. So we got 3 there. Hey, keep on doing that. 24, arrow out, make sure arrowing out. Then you're gonna put plus, and then you're gonna do another cube root, 375, so you're gonna get 10.0 about. Then you're going to put your answer in, what you got, 7. It's a lot of steps, I know. And you put 3. And look at that, you got it correct. All right, number 19. So over here we are multiplying. So it's a little tiny bit easier. So these are not same, so we are not losing the brackets. So 2 times 6 is 12. And then 3 times 2 is 6. Now we would think that's our answer, but it's not, because we always need to break down the square root. Always want to have the smallest possible number inside the square root. So this was even number divided by 2, 6 is even divided by 2. And now we're grouping in 2's, so see it twice, read it once. So you have that 6 here, then you multiply that 2, and then left over 3. 6 times 2 is 12. So that's our answer. Okay, now let's put this in Desmos. So we're gonna have, we'll have 3 square root of 2, multiply that, and then we have 2 square root of 6, arrow out, that gives us 20, hit enter, let's put our answer, 12 square root of 3, and it matches up, we did it correctly. Now last problem, let me just, since I'm up here, let me just put that in Desmos, and then we're gonna work it out. Arrow out, minus square root of 60. Okay, that gives us that decimal. Now we gotta work it out to get our answer. Now with this problem, we don't have an answer, so we can't match them up. So we actually gotta work it out, so there's no other way. So both of them, this I'll start with 5, this one I would start with 2. All right. You could do one at a time if you want. Sometimes I do both at the same time. Odd. Start with 3, 3, then I'm gonna bring that negative down here. Now I'm gonna finish this one up. I could start with 2 again, 15. 5. Or you could have did it 3. All right, now these means you group by 2's, see it twice, write it once. And then 5 and 3 you cannot group, so you just put them inside. Oops, my apologies. Okay, so this group here is that 3, which is here on our side, and then that 5 and 3 is up there, since we ran out of paper. Here, you're grouping these two, see it twice, write it once, so that goes on our side. On the inside is that 5 and 3. So now 3 and 5 times 2 is 10, minus, that minus coming from up here. 2, 5 times 3 is 15. I'm sorry, I meant to write 15. My apologies. 5 times 3. That look like a 2. All right. So now see it twice, write it once. And then 3 minus 2 is just 1. So you could do this, or let's just square root of 15. So either or is the answer. So now let's just check our softened Desmos. Let's put square root of 15. And look at that, they matched up. All right, that's the end of unit test 1 test review for square roots and cube roots.